Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Heartland Mamas. I'm Murray Briel.
And I'm Heidi Henry, broadcasting to you today from four separate studios at the edge of the Great Red Divide. You can find us on Demcast and at heartlandmamas.com for all of our previous work. Like, share, subscribe, and follow. Marie, would you like to introduce our guest today?
I would love to. We have two amazing women who have decided to take action after realizing the true level of difficulty we have with criminal justice in this country, as well as racism. So we have Lauren. Oh my goodness, Keaveny?
Keaveny.
Keaveny. Oh, I'm so sorry. I did spell it correctly, ladies and gentlemen. I'll make sure it's there. Lauren is a teacher in Yorkville, and we also have Annie Gretencourt. And Annie is, forgot to ask, what do you do?
I'm a caterer. I own a catering company here in Morris.
That is amazing. Well, what's your catering company?
It's called Nan's Catering and Home Cooking.
I love that. Well, we will make sure that we put that out on our blog as well, so that everybody knows that you're not only an amazing woman, you're also an entrepreneur, and you're fighting racism in a very small town. So before we go into the show, there's been a lot of articles about how protests have reached small rural America. And, we always see protests at big cities or bigger cities and people come together, but the sheer size and volume of these protests in smaller rural communities are amazingly powerful and important. I know in Plainfield, Illinois, which was a sundown town, which was the home of the KKK, which is right next door to where I live, we've never had a protest ever. And the first one had 300, 400 kids and adults, and it made a difference, and people in the community started to wake up. So I think that what you ladies are doing is ridiculous. So could you tell us how you started?
So I am a teacher, like you said, and I was raised to, my parents are very progressive. They're very, they raised us to look at everybody equally. And I think that's always been something I'm passionate about. Racism has always been a topic that has interested me. Not just fighting it, but learning about the history of it. I've read a lot of books. We visited a lot of places that have historical significance to the movement, things like that. So it's something I've always been passionate about. And then as a teacher, it's been interesting for me to see, the kids who come in that are different. Obviously we don't have a big variety of backgrounds in Yorkville where I teach. And so it's interesting when we do have kids, because lately we've been having more kids moving in from the city or from Aurora or from places where there is more diversity. And so I feel like it's something that's become more relevant in my classroom the past few years, more relevant than it has before. So it's just kind of something that I felt like, okay, I want to be more involved, not only in my community, but have more of a background that I can share with my kids and I share that voice with them in the classroom.
That's amazing. Now, what grade do you teach?
I teach 6th grade.
Oh, so
that is such a cool year.
Yeah, they become very aware.
Yes, exactly. I feel like it's really when they're starting to become aware, and I almost feel like 6th grade is kind of where they're on the fence. Like they can go one way or the other at that point.
Up until 6th grade, they're kind of always parroting what their parents have said. And then all of a sudden, as they start to enter puberty, they start thinking, like their little brains start buzzing. And they start, they start seeing the difference in between what they've been told and what is reality. And a lot of people, like you and I, were both raised in a progressive household. So we kind of already see it that way, and it's really nice to see that light come on,
Totally. Completely agree, yeah.
Now, Annie, tell us a little bit about your background and your activism and what sort of led you to where you are.
Sure, thank you. I grew up very similarly to Lauren here in Morris, very progressive family, and I feel very lucky that I was ever raised with hate being an option. My parents raised us same thing as Lauren, to see everyone as the same. But as I got older, especially through young adulthood, in my early adulthood, I started to realize that that wasn't the way that my peers looked at people, and it was devastating for me to see. You don't think that racism hits as close to home as it does. And I think I speak for Lauren as well. As a white ally, you kind of feel helpless in this movement, being in a white community and wondering, what can I do, and what can I do for change in my community? And I think that Lauren said it best in the bio of our Peaceful Walk group on Facebook, was that big cities can't carry this alone, and that we have to make change throughout the country. And if one thing has been true about this whole thing, it's that the racism problem in our community is far worse and more divisive than I even thought prior to this. It's devastating.
You know, and I'm just going to say, because I ran for office in that area, from an area that went from Princeton, Illinois, all the way almost into Joliet, where Murray is at. And I have to say, as I went east, from Morris east, the flavor changed completely. It was a little scary, and the rhetoric was intense, and the threats were intense, and I didn't realize it. And then I got thinking about the schools there. The two biggest high schools are, one is the Indians and the other one is the Redskins. Am I correct? So you have
we went to Morris High School.
Yeah, you have this endemic racism that you're schooled to begin with, and I think that says a lot about the perception that people have. You also have a huge Tea Party now replaced with the Freedom Movement, which is funded by the Koch brothers. It's very well. There's only one brother left, but believe it or not, they were very active in your area after Barack Obama was elected president, and by 2010, they had put deep tendrils into that community. They kind of skipped the area around me and dug in right there. And it's like Western Will in all of Grundy County, where you run into this endemic systemic racism. And the other day on Twitter was trending again, racist Minooka, because Minooka High School has had a history of race issues, and that spills over. Those people come into Morris to make a statement, and being very active in the individual chapter there myself, we've had to face these people head on, and we've had detractors in the past, but I'm telling you, those people they want to scare you. Now, it's really hard to scare me. I've been a horse trainer all my life, and I'm really mean. So
before we get into what happened, Lauren, you said Annie, you said that Lauren had posted in the group. What was that phrase again? The big cities can't do it alone. What was that? That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Annie remembers it better than me.
Yeah.
Big cities can't carry the weight alone, or something like that. The small towns have to, participate as well. And
so you guys decided. Absolutely. So you decided, hey, we need to do something. We need to raise awareness for rural communities. We need to fight this head on, because we just hide the surface. So you guys decided to organize a peaceful walk.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Yeah. So I know Annie and I are completely on the same page when it comes to all of this stuff, and but we both always are posting things and liking each other's stuff and commenting and supporting each other with that. So I was like, I would love to do this with Annie. So I reached out to her, and we kind of talked about it, and I think that was the main idea of it, was a peaceful walk. We were not protesting against the police. We weren't protesting against anyone particular. It was just show support and solidarity for what's going on in the world. Showing that we see them, we understand, we want to help, that sort of thing, and kind of honoring in a way, George Floyd, as well as all the other people who
have been dealing with this. And just because Morris hadn't done anything, you know, and
Right.
I think that we both wanted to do something in our hometown and, you know, in our backyards.
And
so how did the organizing of it?
Well, we didn't get too far in the planning process because Lauren created the Facebook group, invited me to be an admin or a co-host on the Facebook group, and when I tell you that the backlash from our community was immediate, it was immediate. I mean, my phone was blowing up within 10 minutes of it. So we unfortunately didn't get extremely far into the planning process. Our goal was to have Black members of our community or from surrounding communities join us in this walk of solidarity, and that we could pass the proverbial mic to them and ask them, what could we do in our community? What could we do in our homes? And what can we tell our neighbors to make you feel safer and make you feel heard and understood? And I think that the community had a real problem with the idea of people from out of town coming, and the threats against Lauren in my life began coming in, and then the threats
Wait,
against...
I'm so sorry. Hold on a second. Can I rephrase this to make sure that I heard correctly? You started a Facebook group to organize a peaceful march, a walk in solidarity with a peaceful walk with brothers and sisters of all races. And within 10 minutes, you started getting like attacks about this group, and then it escalated to death threat. You're just trying to organize. Okay, please. So I heard you right? Like they're death threat.
Yes, unfortunately, Lauren and I both have received at least 5 death threats, and that's just of the ones I've seen. I mean, there was thousands of comments on Facebook and people sharing and things. So I didn't ever go looking for them because honestly,
it's hurtful.
Smart idea.
It's very
You're
hurtful.
a very wise woman.
Listen,
don't pay attention.
I have dealt with this in that community for a number of years, and they have bots that come in that aren't really real people, and they are so organized and so together on this in that area. And I wanted to add in southern Kendall County too to this because Lisbon's a hot mess, and it goes into this. They activate the bot system, and it goes out to their telephone tree or their social media tree, and they activate things that aren't real, but they come after it to attack you, to push you down. And like I said, I've had to deal with that in your community for years now, and it's really sad because most of the people that live there are not like that, as you well know. But they try to increase their numbers and presence by using artificial intelligence. So go ahead.
So can you give me a timeline? You're organizing this peaceful walk, a walk of solidarity.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at what, 24 hours, and you're getting death threats, like 48 hours. Like 10 minutes, like an hour.
So I had posted it, and I remember the timing because I think it was like right before 9 o'clock because Annie was going to do a workout class. Yeah. So she said, so I posted it. We were like, okay, awesome, this is great. She's like, let me connect with you after my class. And I said, okay, cool. Well, then I had a massage at 10, so I was unavailable from 10 to 11. So I messaged her like before she could get back to me. I was like, hey, I'll message you at 11. At 11, when I was done with my massage, so that had been 2 hours after it had been posted, I had like all these messages from Annie, like screenshots of all this stuff. And I was like, oh my God. And that's when we both were like, I don't know what to do. This is not.
Yeah.
It's
So did you report these to the authorities? Did you report that? I've been doxxed pretty nastily before, including pictures of family, my house, my address. Go get her, but no actual death threats. So
Marie and I have been through this.
We did not report them. Most of the threats, at least the ones that we saw, as I mentioned, I'm sure there are more, were related to if the protest went south, if we were not able to contain the protest, that they would come find us or make sure you had their names or things of that nature.
Yeah, like one who's a dad of a person I went to high school with, so, you know, he said, quote, Morris will burn, make sure you have these ladies' names. Like, and so I think it was more, we were afraid that those people were going to come and start something just to
Yes.
get themselves right.
Oh, listen, and they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that.
So you decided, screw all these jackasses, right? And you said, go away, white men.
No.
Go away, white male rage, toxic masculinity. You're going to do it anyway?
No, Murray, that's not how this went down.
Okay, tell me how it went down.
Okay, so after we got the threats, I also had a message from one of the few people of color that we have in our community asking me not to move forward with the walk. And the sad thing of it is that even though we were trying to do the walk in solidarity with people of color in our community, if the racist white people were to poke the fire of this and it goes south for any reason, I understand that the lives of black and brown people in Morris will become only harder.
Right.
Which is part of the problem. But I have to, as an ally, I feel like it's extremely important to have black people's voices carry the weight that they should in our community. And I couldn't have someone ask me that and then not take that extremely seriously. So I mean, it was a lot of different reasons. It was Lauren and myself getting threats. It was the threats of the black people that we hoped were going to come. It was the person of color asking me not to move forward with it. And also Lauren and I were starting to get worried. Were we being naive and thinking that we can't really control what's going to happen? But looking back on the situation, I do agree with Lauren that I was always more concerned with the racist white people that were threatening to kill us and kill black people than I was people coming down from Joliet or people coming from Chicago. You know what I mean?
Well, that's exactly it. And especially with the rhetoric thrown out there by Jason Helland, your state's attorney for Grundy County, who was, and I'll say this, inciting violence, the issue. And it is an election year for him, and he is playing to that base, that horrible small portion of people that live in your community that enjoy that type of rhetoric. And I will be surprised if there isn't any reprimands for him, or even, I know that there's been a call for him to step down based on what he did. So from the community, and
WGN picked it up.
CBS picked it up, and I saw it on, I saw it on CBS, but I know it was on WGN as well. So it hit the Chicago market, and what's unfortunate about what happened to you two is the screenshots that people took from those message boards, from the what's going on in town and all of that. Those things were sent out across the internet. They're everywhere. So people say that stuff and they think they're in a vacuum just threatening you two. But the truth of the matter is that it gets out to the greater population that goes, you know what, I don't think I want to live there. I don't think I want to shop there. I don't think I want to visit there anymore. That is really twisted, especially in this day and age. That is not the type of face that you want to put forward. And I realize, like I said, getting to know that community, and I know so many wonderful people in that area, but I know from having to knock on every single door that there were times that I was followed. There was times that I was threatened. There was times that somebody tried to run me over with a car. And like you, I didn't do anything about it. It's just sometimes you run into crazy people in your life and you just keep going on. And I had to keep my head down and elbows up and try to get through my election season. But, I understand where you're coming from. And I think the work that you were trying to do is something that has to happen in that community. The only way we can change that mindset is to keep coming and to be present. And where you two, for your own safety and well-being, had to take a step back and decide not to do it, I know somebody else picked it up and took it and took on that mantle to go forward. So and I was really surprised. People kept asking me if it was going to happen. I'm like, are you kidding me? In Morris? Because I had been to one in LaSalle, one in Streeter, one in Ottawa that went perfectly, one in Yorkville that went perfectly. And then Murray was east of there and things were going really well there. And I thought, but here's this little nest in the middle. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So.
And I do want to mention quickly Taylor, the young woman that took over our peaceful walk, and she really made it such a success, and it was a really powerful and peaceful movement, and there was a lot of support with the community. And like you said, I think that it was mostly like just a few, I don't want to use the term bad apples, but some people that were threatening us isn't representative of our community as a whole. And I'm really happy that we were able to see that come to fruition, and that she was able to have that peaceful moment there. She had it at Chapin Park, and she's an extremely impressive young woman. I'm really happy that she was able to take it over.
So now, ladies, go ahead, Heidi. I'm sorry.
No, I think you and I were going to ask the same question. So now, how are you going to take your activism forward? Any plans?
Yes, actually, something I'm working on Facebook right now is another Facebook page, and it is going to be.
Is it racist? Go fuck yourself.
Leave it to Murray.
I'm really going educational route, but I do.
We're gonna post every screenshot that we have, and just
please. There is a page on Facebook called Very Fine People. You need to check out Very Fine People, and it is posts for all of the racist jackasses that we come across in the state of Illinois, whether it's
Annie, we lost you. There she is. It's okay.
Whether it's the company or a person, so please post all those. And if you're uncomfortable, send them to me.
I think that was.
some of them I went back to look at, and they're deleted now.
I know.
Screenshot everything. The minute I see something, screenshot, because it's going to come in handy.
Well, I think what was stunning, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but I'm going to say there was business owners that.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm like,
we know.
Yeah, and so I have a list.
We will never go there.
Never go there.
And if you would, we need to share that and let others know. Look, if you don't want to support someone who perpetrates the systemic racism that exists, you have a choice.
Yeah.
Here is what someone stands for. You decide if you want to spend your money there. So I am all about giving people information.
There are restaurants in Morris I have never eaten in because I know who owns them, and I know what they.
But a lot of people don't.
Yeah, and I know how they operate their lives, and those are some of the people. I didn't see all of what happened to you because a lot of it was gone before I could see it, but a lot of those people are the ringleaders of what happened to you, and in my involvement in social activism in our community with. Different Love Outreach. Which have you met the people from Love Outreach? They are women of color, so I'll have to connect you because they operate there in Morris. And yeah, I will. Yeah. So when in my activism with the Democratic Party and with Indivisible, I'm always stunned at how they can take a peaceful walk like yours and make it political and make it. So different than what it was because nothing that you were doing was political. It was human outreach. It was to me it was a lot. There was a lot of mourning in all of the marches, walks, and rallies that I was at. People were and still are mourning the loss of George Floyd because it was so egregious and so outrageous, and that's not political. It can't be political or we will never cure racism in our area. So, because if anything, that should be something everybody should be concerned about. Go ahead.
Can we do that? I interrupted you. You said you were starting a Facebook group. Please tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I'm starting a Facebook group, and it's going to be a social justice Facebook group.
I love it.
And what I'm doing thank you. What I'm doing is I'm starting threads on social justice issues that face our community. So there's a multitude of threads, but some of them are LGBTQ plus issues, feminist issues, immigration issues, healthcare disparities for people of color, educational disparities for people of color, how to be an ally. There's also a thread on elections coming to our town, or calls to action, or protests. And it's going to serve as a way for community members that are trying to be an ally and trying to be educated to go and find these threads, and you're going to be able to read through either people that are self-educated on them or people that have actually studied them. I have a lot of great members of the community that I'd like to highlight. I have Erin Ferguson, who's going to be discussing feminist issues. She's studied women's studies in college, and I have Katie Lincoln, who is a doctor, and she's going to be discussing with us healthcare disparities. I have Mara Talbay, who opened a great discussion on the way that COVID-19 is disproportionately impacting people of color.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of great information there. And right now it's closed group because I'm trying to get the thread started in a helpful way.
Yes.
And not open it up in the way that Talk of the Town Morris is. But once I get some good information there, I'm excited to open it up to the community. I think I want to try to foster the people that are trying to learn, and the people that just want to be trolls, I'm gonna have to just leave by the wayside. But
I think that's amazing.
That is amazing. And you and I talked on Messenger yesterday about the organized trolling that goes on there, and I'm so sorry that they came after you. Murray and I have had to deal with it, and we've already dealt with it. And we're old and we're mean, mostly me. So, but
hey, I'm meaner than you are, girl.
She's probably right.
Pull a Susan Collins, okay?
I forgave a drunk man that drove in my driveway. So it's a whole. I thought he learned his lesson.
She did. I'm like, no, I'm not. She's way nice.
He didn't hurt anything. Anyway, but my what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So this is something you both are going to learn and grow from. Your early stages of your activism life are always fraught with challenges, and those challenges don't go away, but you learn how to handle them better. And if anything, when stuff like that happens, it just lights me up, and I'm just right. Well, Marie and I used to open it up saying that she was on the case and I was in your face because that is kind of me, So.
I love that.
Yeah, but
well, you ladies, please share with us when you decide to go open and open it up. Please let us know. Keep us posted. I want to make sure that we amplify your voice. I'm 20 minutes away from Morris. We can help in any way, shape, or form. Please keep us in the loop. We will amplify your voice and get this message out there, because I think that it's fear. It's fear and lack of information.
Well,
and it's the use of they and them, and like watching Facebook explode with all the roving wild hordes of looters come into your town, and it didn't happen to like 90% of the town.
Well,
right. Come on now. Come on.
Well, we all know.
Calling for the National Guard, and I was like, why?
I know. The state's attorney calling for the National Guard. It was. What the hell? It's like Jason Helland I don't know how he got or keeps this job and keeps getting reelected as an outsider looking in, because he's not my state's attorney. But when he was calling for the National Guard, I'm like, if he wins again, y'all deserve him, So I know one of our, the local indivisible group wrote his opponent a check the other day because we were so fed up with what had happened, and we will work for, I believe his last name is Brown, as hard as Jeff Brown, animal lover, because I know I posted something he did on dog adoption, and so I will work as hard as I can. Marie and I are going to have him on our show, because you all deserve a compassionate, open-minded person that, you just wonder if this is how he acts towards a peaceful march. What is getting prosecuted or not prosecuted?
And that's the big part of the problem with criminal justice reform now. It's the connection between the police departments and the police union, the medical examiners, and the district attorney's office. And that is a big cycle that ends up not allowing things to happen the way they should, not allowing proper justice to be served. Because everyone's sort of interconnected and beholden to everyone else.
Right.
My daughter got a speeding ticket in Grundy County, and it was an egregious one. It was bad, and I took her to court. She was the only white person there, her and I. We were the only white people in that courtroom.
Yep.
Grundy County does not have that many people of color that it should have been like that.
Yep.
That was, I was so taken aback by that, because you see it right there, and it just didn't even. I couldn't even get it to click into place. Like, what am I looking at? So I was just still mad at her for getting a ticket. But
I completely agree. And if I could touch on one more point, is that Lauren and I understand and we recognize that the threats that were made against us is nothing compared to what people of color in our community must have to go through. And that's something that we really want to get across, is that if it was so easy for us to be threatened, we really are holding space for the people of color in our community that have to deal with racism and discrimination like that at that level and above that level on the daily. And that's something that's really shined a light on this, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this Facebook group. And something else I wanted to discuss also is that on my Facebook group, I'm going to have a questionnaire there for a person of color that's going to be paid for their time, because I don't want to tokenize any of the people of color in our community. It's not Black people's responsibility to educate white people on how not to be racist. But I also, it's very important
well
to pass
said.
people the mic.
Yeah.
It's very important to pass them the mic, and as much as I want people of color to be involved in that, it's not their responsibility. But if you guys happen to know anyone that would like to give their point of view, I would love to have them in any capacity, whether they want to sit back and listen and watch what happens or learn, or if they want to be a part of the group and discuss on the threads. I just want to get that out there, is that I hope eventually that it's not just me, a white woman, that runs this group. I hope that it's run by a much more diverse group of people that
Lauren,
represent our country.
I will connect you with several of my friends
That's
who
Annie.
are strong women of color. Oh, Annie, sorry.
You're fine.
We know it's here.
I will connect you with some women who are organizers and leaders, who are women of color, who are Black women, as well as some amazing Black legislative and judicial folks that would, I bet, love to become a part of it and help share that information. So please, I will make sure I send you those folks.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
The thing that we as white people have to know is that racism is a white person's problem. And since 1649, it's been our problem that we have perpetrated against Black people and minorities of any color that's not white. It's our problem to solve. And whether or not you're just the white woman that runs the group and you don't get a lot of activity from the low amount of numbers of people of color that live in your community, it is a white person's problem to solve. So don't let that deter you. Murray and I had to ask one of our friends that's a woman of color to be on our show the other day, and it's like, I don't think Mae Whiteside is a Black woman. I think of her as, oh my God, she's so incredible, because she's so accomplished. She's
ridiculous.
She's more accomplished than I will ever be. She's just amazing. And she's an overachiever, I think. But I had to ask her to come on and tell us, how do we talk about this? So asking how, what can we do to be better allies, but also knowing that the problem is not people of color, it's us white people. It's our problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Lauren and I actually got together yesterday for lunch, and something we discussed is how allyship is not something that you just arrive at. It's something that you constantly have to be educating yourself on, and you have to have a want to learn. And I'm hoping that this Facebook group that we're doing is going to act as really a resource to our community members that want to do better, and really take some tips from people that have a unique perspective on the issues, and join in on the conversation. I want to make it clear that it's not just for people that have gone to college or are college educated on these topics, or are just educated in their workplace. I really want the community to get involved in it, and I think that I'm hoping that I have a better outcome of this Facebook group than the last one.
You will.
I'm sure you will.
You will.
I'm sure you will.
And the thing is that the first time it happened, and I got attacked by gun enthusiasts, and like the first really bad time that I was doxxed, and it was terrifying. And then I realized, you know what? I think I'm scarier than they are, because I'm right. Damn it, So, but the first time I was just so wow. And the thing is, I'm not anti-gun. I just don't think people should be open carrying in Kroger when I'm standing there at the deli. I just don't shoot the ham. Don't shoot the roast beef because it's too rare, So that was my whole point, and I thought I was being flippant and funny about it. And I got death threats, and they were going to come to my farm and murder everybody here. And I was like, you're just making my point. You're just making my point. Just like those people that doxed you made your point.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that was I think it was hard for Amy and I because both of us are the kind of people that don't back down, you know, and we hold our own.
join the club.
Yeah, I mean, I feel, you know, I always feel like I'm pretty, you know, I don't want to say aggressive, but
You're a warrior queen.
You're strong. You're
Yeah.
a strong woman, and that purifies many people.
And that was very hard for me to, and I think I can speak for Amy as well. It was hard for both of us to give into that, but yeah, I think it was a good lesson, like you said. We've learned a lot from that, and going forward, you know, we're more prepared now. So.
Absolutely.
And you know, if you ever have a moment of doubt, call the mamas. We'll help you.
And you are honorary mamas. I see a fur mama or not. You are honorary mamas, man. We want to keep engaged with you.
So.
Yay!
Our dogs became good friends yesterday.
Did they?
Oh.
Yes.
My dog has a friend across the street, and he tries to run away and go play with them all the time.
Oh.
And then he gets in trouble for leaving the yard. But yeah, you know, sometimes that's the power of having friends with the same ideas, is you can always borrow somebody else's spine when yours is feeling weak. And Marie and I have had to, I don't know what she's doing over, oh, her dogs are there. So Marie and I have had to back each other up over the years.
My big girl. Here. I'll show you my big girl. No. Easy.
Hey.
Yeah, you can't really see her. She's kind of. Oh, there's her face. Right there. Look at the camera. Okay, sorry. She was in there being a good girl. We've adopted all of ours. We have 3 dogs and a cat. Kind of.
I have 3 too, and they're all. I'm a big rescue advocate, so.
So am I. We've rescued all of ours. I love it. Yes, my big girl right here. She's getting old, but she's always been.
Oh.
Yeah. Mine are.
That's some dog love too.
Yeah, mine are locked out of the studio because once I let them in here, I'll never get them out of here. There actually is a dog bed in here. Since Murray's not coming out, I have a dog bed in here in case they do come in. Oh, you never know. They might want to come in and take a nap.
Like literally.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Yeah, so I'm a really bad dog mom.
Hey, I'm with you.
When I was running for office,
there's no boundaries.
Yeah, when I was running for office, one of the men that was running asked me, he goes, "How many times have you been bit?" And he said, "I've been bit 6 times." And I said, "Dogs never bite me. They come up and say hi." You know. He said, "Even the scary pit bulls." I said, "Absolutely." You know, they come running up and they're just happy. They know dog enablers. They know them. You know.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, never. In fact, the worst part is that they would follow me. They'd leave their yard and follow me. The cats would follow me. It would be like a little train of critters, you know. So
Absolutely.
I was always trying to return them where I found them. You know, here's your dog back. He's kept me company for the last 2 miles. You know.
Yeah, that's right.
So, well, listen, ladies, it was so nice talking to you. I admire what you did, what you tried to do, and what you're doing to bring your activism and your energy forward. And if there's anything we can do, the Heartland Mamas can do, we're there for you. So we're going to
let us know.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up now and say thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Heartland Mamas.
Like, subscribe, share.
Heartland Mamas, MAMAS.com. We'll see you later. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.